Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Crosshair video. Today we have one of my personal favorites, Ashe, as requested by Christian Thomas. So thank you so much for the request. Let's get started. This crosshair is a little bit on the smaller side of things, but this does allow you to see more clearly while scoping, and it makes landing those headshots that you so desperately need a lot easier to land. There's no fancy like sidelines for hip fire or anything gimmicky with this character, but she does have some very interesting settings and tips. So with that said, let's move on to tips and then settings. So what I like to do with Ashe is using her left shift, which is her coach gun, and what you can do with this is either use it for movement by shooting the floor and jump in to get extreme height, or alternatively you can use it to get space between yourself and a flanker, as I'll demonstrate on this tracer. She excels at mid-range like Hanzo, for example, or maybe even just a little bit further than Cassidy, so a lot closer than you would think, but not too far away like a Widowmaker. She's like the perfect in-between. I believe her effective range is roughly 40 meters before any damage drop-off. I would say this is about 40 meters. You would want to use her ADS to take out long-range fights. So when you're positioning for a longer range fight, you would want to use your ADS. When you're ADSing, your bullets become a lot stronger than not scoping, as I'll demonstrate here. So this is a scoped headshot. In comparison to a non-scoped headshot, you can see the damage speaks for itself. Another tip for Ashe is the two-tap method. This is, well, I call it the two-tap method anyway, and this is good for quickly killing your targets. So you're playing slightly long range, you land a headshot. What you immediately want to do when you land that headshot is unscope, try and track them a little bit if they're moving, and then left click. One ADS shot, one non-ADS shot. Another tip is to not use your dynamite when your ultimate up, because when you have your ultimate up, use your dynamite. Yes, you're doing quite a bit of damage, but you're not getting any ultimate charge, and your dynamite is key to getting fast ults. Your ultimate, Bob, so say this is 0 meters, he spawns a little bit in front of you, and then he charges until he either goes a certain distance or he impacts something, and when he impacts a target, he knocks them up in the air, and if you hit this target in the air whilst Bob has knocked him up, and you kill that target, you get yourself a nice fancy achievement, which gives you a spray. It's pretty cool. Bob spawns from the air in front of Ashe by I think 5 meters. Okay, that's more about. We can safely just call that 10. Keep this in mind when spawning Bob. So why that is useful is for picking spots of Bob. Most people will want to just throw him in front of the front line, which it can be good, especially on like payloads, as he counts as a unit, which will stop the payload from moving. But if you're on control points, so for a scenario, say this is the control point here, this square, there are some control points where they have the high ground or some like very niche spots, but they're really good for Bob. Bob can shoot everything that he sees. So what you want to do, you want to jump backwards, and then as you're starting to fall, you want to then press Q. And yeah, you can basically just see the entire control point. Let's move on to settings, and then I'll show you the crosshair. So with Ashe, she's got 3 particular settings I would like to discuss. Toggle zoom, I personally like it off. I like to hold right click in order to aim down my sight. Relative aim sensitivity while zoomed. Now this means it's a certain percentage of your sensitivity, or how fast your crosshair moves whilst aiming down your sights. Now I found this number to be roughly on a 1-to-1 ratio of your non-scoped sensitivity. So if you want it to be more or less the same when you're not aiming down your sights to when you're aiming down your sights, copy this number. Recoil recovery aim compensation. This will remove any micro adjustments or micro mistakes to your aim that can pretty much cost you those headshots when you really need them the most. And here we have the crosshair. Color preference is completely down to you. I know I use the green a lot, as green is usually the best in terms of clarity, but for Ashe specifically, I like yellow. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If this video helped you, why not drop a like or even comment stating how it did. I'd be very thankful if you did decide to sub for more content. It is very much appreciated. On that note, I wish you all a spiffing day.